Hi, this is Coach Hall. Welcome to the Monday motivational meeting. It's October 4th, 2021, a day that may live in infamy. Or is it infamy? Infamy. And this day marks the day that Facebook went down, social media went down. Hopefully it's not the start of some new trend and we don't ever get it back up again, but it does make me think a little bit about how we're connected and how dependent we are on this connection and my involvement with it. And what comes to mind to me as I practice my sixth film every day is that the buck stops here. The buck stops here. We're going to dig into this word, the buck, this term, the buck stops here, and the word buck. Okay. But before we get into that, let's talk about membership. We're up to 73. I think we've been there I've been hovering around these 70s for a bit, right? We're going to grow in a little bit, I'm sure. Again, the highlight of the day so far is that Facebook went down, WhatsApp is down, some other websites went down. In fact, where my school's at, I can get in, but I can't edit for some reason, and I don't know if it's connected or what, but it could be. So there seems to be some big issues, and this is a big deal, folks, because as a group, we're globally connected, and we need to be able to go about our business and not be so dependent upon something like a Facebook for us to be able to continue to learn, launch, and earn, right? We need to be able to move forward without major disruption. And so I'm going to be thinking about that. I want you guys to think about that too. What can we do to remain connected? I'm thinking about maybe sharing email addresses and finding alternate sources for us to stay connected. This video, in fact, here is up on YouTube. So if YouTube's not impacted, you can still get a message like this from me. And we could share messages. There are other systems, other sites out there that we might be able to work with. So we need to maybe brainstorm and think this one through. The other thing I've been doing, and now I'm maybe changing some strategies here, is I've been delaying the grand opening to the LLE. You guys have been in it. I've been calling it sort of the beta mode. We have a small group. I haven't done any marketing whatsoever. The only thing I do in Udemy, and that's my primary platform right now. I've got a course up on Baby Sparks right now too, but they're kind of in this change of marketing, change of name, venue, so I don't really expect anything to really start to blow up from them for a while until they got all their ducks in a row. But what I've been doing is just relying on the Udemy system, and people get my message that they can join the group. And this is great because while we're in this beta stage, we're learning some things about how the platform works, how the group works, how we can each other make some connections. And I've already made 4 or 5 good connections in the group, and hopefully you guys are making some connections as well within the group. We want to keep doing that. So basically the idea was that when I launched my marketing program, this is taking a lot longer than I imagined it would be, but when I would launch my first marketing campaign, this is when I would make a grand opening. And when I do the grand opening, I want to present some things specifically to you guys, exclusively to the members of LLE. But what I've been finding out in this process, it's very time consuming learning the marketing that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get into Facebook marketing, and there's a process to it. I have a lot of marketing experience, but I come from the old school, we might call it the brick and mortar version, hard copy version of marketing. And this is all digital marketing, social media marketing and stuff. So the terminology I'm familiar with, it's the systems that are just completely brand new to me. And this is the steps and what to do. There's a learning curve here, and I'm finding it to be a bit challenging. So my timelines have been constantly being moved. Of course, this year has been a very challenging year for me personally because of some family issues, and COVID continues to be an issue. But this has gone much longer than I imagined. Now, with this big event with Facebook, I'm thinking, you know what? Why am I not going ahead and doing what I want to do for the group, which is to help the group? And so the buck stops here. I've decided that the buck stops here. And this term really is taking ownership versus passing the buck. So the two terms are the buck stops here, or you're passing the buck, right? And I don't want to pass the buck anymore. I've been passing the buck to this big launch after I learn marketing. Then I'm gonna. Okay, the buck stops here. No more. Then I'm going to be focusing and splitting my time now, which is going to delay things a little bit more. But I'm okay with that because I want you guys to receive as much benefit as possible. Plus, I noticed that the group is kind of slowed down a bit, and I don't want to lose any momentum. I want it to start to really become energized. So even though we're about 73, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating something that will make the courses that are currently available on Udemy. I already put them up on my page, on my course, on my school rather. All the courses that we have on Udemy are also available on my school, plus more. There's more on my school than there is in Udemy, and my future development will primarily be for my school. I'm going to be doing some work for Baby Sparks as well, but mostly the work is going to be, all of it will end up on my school anyways, at the school. And what I want to do for the LLE members, especially you guys, the ones that have been with me from the beginning, probably up until the end of the year. I don't know exactly how long this is going to be, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 100 coupons for each of the individual courses I have available. And I'm going to make them available to you guys first. And what it's going to do is going to make it so that the course, you can take any of my courses, it's only going to be $7, okay? Versus the full prices and the discounts that come from time to time from Udemy, or when I run mine and I can get them down. Sometimes I can get them to $9.99. Sometimes they limit me to $10.99. Sometimes $11.99. Sometimes it's $12. I don't have any control over that, and that's part of the problem I have with these other platforms. I don't have the kind of control. I have control over this. $7 is a great deal. You get the course. You have the lifetime guarantee, all the same benefits you have on Udemy. You have plus more. I can offer more on my site, and I do. Most of my courses have testing. So now you'll know if you're getting it or not. Testing with plus and then with that, hopefully that'll encourage you to participate a little bit more in the group. Okay, maybe you have to get together and study with somebody to take these tests. So you take a test, and then when you take the test, I know whether or not you get the information. I understand whether or not you comprehend the information, because you've either passed the test or you haven't. If you pass the test, then I feel very comfortable in issuing you a Star Family Coaching certification from me. Not just some, you completed the course off of the Udemy site, but one from me, okay, from my school. And that'll give you peace of mind knowing, I actually do know this stuff, and I can now use this for my own personal life, or I can go out and help other people based upon my understanding that I completed the course, and I've completed the course by passing the test. So I think this is going to be a super win-win for you. And just so you know that I'm going to have an expiration date, but probably won't end until the end of the year. I might extend it further. I don't know yet. We'll have to figure that out. But there's no rush. That's the good thing. So it's not like when I run a deal on Udemy where you got 3 days or 4 days or 5 days before the deal ends. You're going to get a much longer time frame. So I'm not trying to push you or rush you. I know people are busy. We forget about these things. But they'll be available to you. Just can apply the coupon at the school, and you get the course at the cheapest price that you can get it anywhere. $7 I think is fair for you guys. It's fair for me. I'm okay with that. And again, there's no rush to it. Now, the only catch is that you're not going to be able to take the course on Udemy or the other platforms that are out there that you might be familiar with. You're going to take it on at my school's platform, but you'll notice that it's very similar. So the learning curve is going to be almost nil if you're taking courses already on other sites, and if you're on Udemy, it's a very similar process. Okay, and if you have any issues with that, you can always, we can talk about it in the group. How to navigate the site more easily. Okay, so want to make that available to you. Also, I'm going to be making a once in a lifetime special offer that I've got some other things working with this concept I'm about to share with you that will be a much more difficult process and won't come with the same type of offer. Okay, I've been working with a lot of folks on this, and I'm structuring it in a certain way, but because you guys have been so patient and you've been my beta testing group, I want to give you this once in a lifetime offer. It's an earning opportunity. It's a way for you and I to be like 50-50 partners, and this is going to make your life coaching, if that's your pursuit to become a life coach, it's going to make it easier, it's going to make it more impactful, and it would come with virtually unlimited income potential. And I say that because you can make money while you're sleeping. And when you work with me, I'm going to be sharing a lot of my marketing expertise with the group. You do the same things that I've been doing that are successful, then boom, you start to grow exponentially with your income. Hey, Casey's excited about it. That's my dog. He's the main editor here. He's super excited about it. He wants to join up. He wants to be my 50-50 partner. Maybe you do as well. Okay, so we'll get more into that later, but first I want to focus on these coupons, and once I get that going, we will be explaining all that to you in greater detail. All right, so that's what's going on here. Now, more about the buck. The buck stops here, right? The buck is actually a word that is broken into by letters, right? It's the B, then a U, and then a C, and then a K. That's the spelling of buck, right? So the B stands for behavior. The U stands for understanding. The C stands for communication. And the K stands for kindness. And this is what I really want you guys to focus on this week, maybe for the whole month. Not only do we need to take personal responsibility for our actions and what we have control over, but the buck's got to stop here in this way as well. We need to focus on our behavior. We need to focus on our understanding and be empathetic to the fact that we don't all understand things at the same level or the same quantity or the same quality. It's different. And that's okay, because that's what communication is all about. We can share this understanding with each other. And if we do it with kindness, we'll be open to receiving that communication. And this is what the buck stop here really means to me. It's not just about, okay, I'm taking responsibility, but I'm not an individual. It's an island, living on an island. Okay, I live in a global community, and I got reminded of that today with Facebook. Goes down, suddenly I'm disconnected from it. All these folks, right? There's 70 some odd people that are members in this group. Almost all of you are coming from different parts of the world, and we meet in this group. This is how we're connected. And so behavior is important, because that's really a displayed version of what we understand, and it also creates communication. Babies understand based upon behavior. They watch the behavior of people. Human beings do as well. We can watch the body language of somebody. We can see some action that's happening far away and basically determine whether or not, well, do I want to approach those folks or do I want to stay away from those folks, because of the behavior we're seeing. It's communicating something to us. Now, if that communication that behavior comes across as kindness, then we're going to want to approach that, and we're going to want to get the understanding. Okay, and that's why the buck stop here is a great sort of acronym, if you will, to remind you of what it is you need to focus on: your behavior, your understanding, your communication, and your kindness. Our behavior is a displayed version of what we understand and creates communication in the world and to ourselves. With kindness, this will helps others. Okay, with kindness, this helps others understand you. If you're kind, people will understand you. Well, I know they'll understand you too if you're not so kind, but they probably won't want to water the plant, so to speak, and be around you so much. They'll be wanting to avoid you. Stay away. I don't like the way you behave and communicate. So if we want to grow and become the best version of ourselves, we only do that by growing and learning from others. And so we do this through kindness. We demonstrate kindness and behavior and communicate kindly to others as well as ourselves. We want to be kind to ourselves with the words that we say to ourselves. That little voice that goes in our head, sometimes that voice isn't saying nice things. Sometimes that voice is saying, there you go again, messing up, doing it. There you go, having those urges again, those impulses that make you want to do those bad things because you know what? Deep down inside, you're a bad person. Okay, shut that voice off. Hold up. Okay, that's just a thought. Okay, and that's a potential that you can act upon and make that world happen. But it's also just a reminder of what the other side could look like. And the other side could look like the opposite of that. The opposite of that is that, no, there's nothing that's limiting you except for your thoughts. And there's nothing that will make you a bad person other than the actions that you take. And so you can choose to be a good person and be kind and do the right thing. And this is what we talk about when we're talking about communicating, not only to others, but very important that you communicate kindly to yourself. Okay, so speak kindly to yourself. Pay attention to this behavior, this internal behavior, and this understanding that you have about yourself and how you're communicating to yourself. And try to put some kindness in all of that, okay, with your internal behavior and your internal understanding and your internal communication, as well as what's going on the outside, okay? With social media being down, this is a good time to get up and get out in the world and reconnect with nature. It's also a good time to take advantage of focusing on what's going on in your inner world, focusing on your behavior, your understanding, your communication, and your level of kindness. So take advantage of these times. We can all get upset that we're disconnected and, oh my God, I can't put my thumbs up and my hearts and my laughter emojis up today because Facebook is down. Or we can go, okay, I'm going to take advantage of this break I have and go out and reconnect with nature, spend some time with my family, get out there, and maybe if you've got some friends, see some friends, wear your mask and make sure you get vaccinated and all that good stuff, but be safe when you do so. And just start opening up your inner world as well as your outer world, okay? And with that, we're going to sign off, and we have another great week ahead. Love you guys. I want you to, as I always say, right? This is my new sign off. Live long and prosper. Keep cool and share the love.